So, this is a story of a jail, where people have come to punish themselves for their sins, but will they be able to bear all this? Anyway, as soon as the movie starts, a lot of people give their interviews, in which they tell who they are, and what guilt they have come here for. In these, we also meet Perempuan, who is the lead character of this movie. She came here to punish herself like everyone else, because she thinks she is responsible for the death of a child. Before coming here, she was a sculpture artist. She had organized a whole show on the bloody form of animals. She had made a lot of bloody animal sculptures, which were very dangerous, and this is what she also invited her boyfriend. His son accidentally bumped into those sculptures so badly while playing, that the pointed hands of the sculptures were stabbed in his eye, because of which he was killed there. That is, he died. Perempuan felt herself responsible for his death, because she had refused to put a barrier in front of these pointed sculptures. Now in this jail, she has reached to punish herself, but without knowing its dangers and consequences. Here her roommate is Zamyatin. Zamyatin is a mathematician, and the obsession with math has removed his job, family, and everything, because a while ago, a new equation had come to his mind, which he had wasted years in solving, but he still couldn't solve it. He asks Perempuan to solve this equation. The equation was, what will be the under root of -1? Perempuan couldn't solve it. He thought it was almost impossible, and he was after this impossible thing. To reduce the illusory and gut feeling in his mind, he also came here. Now let's meet the master, who leads this whole organization, i.e. this jail, although, who made this jail has not been told yet. But this master herself is a prisoner, and he has a whole group. This jail is like a tower, which has more than 362 floors. Every day, food starts getting from the top floor, and the first floor is counted as one. Food distribution starts from the first floor, then on the second, third, and so on. The master's group, who are called loyalists, they take care that the food reaches the prisoners on every floor. But in this jail, there are some people who don't care about others, and in this way, by the time they reach the 100th floor, the food is over, and the people on the lower floors have to stay almost hungry. The people who didn't care about others' food, their group is called barbarians. The people on the barbarian platform are very merciless. They can do anything for their food. They can kill anyone. And the poor people on the lower platforms, they mostly starve to death. Now, another interesting thing here is that the master of this place not only takes care that everyone gets equal food, but he himself does not eat for a month, and when he is about to die, he tries to feed his meat to the people on the lower floors, so that they don't starve to death. And if a member of the loyalist group doesn't follow their rule, people either kill him or give him a very bad punishment. Before coming here, everyone was asked only one thing: what is their favorite food? After that, as long as they had to stay here, they were going to get only that food. Yes, only the people living here could exchange. If they didn't want to eat anything, they would exchange with their roommates. And this was only possible when the people living upstairs would let them have their food. The people living on the upper floors would keep an eye on the lower floors, and if anyone tried to break their rule, or tried to eat someone else's food, then they would be punished. In the punishment, either their hand was cut, or they were killed. And if someone dies in this jail, then their food is not allowed to be given to anyone else. In fact, their food is wasted here. When Perempuan came here, she got platform 24, because of which, she used to get a lot of food. But every month, this jail used to reset. The people on the upper platforms used to go down, and the people on the lower platforms used to go up. Everyone used to get a new platform, and when he went to the 174th floor, she started getting very little food. And even here, the loyalists used to impose rules on them, that you have to leave some of your food, so that the people on the lower platforms can eat. Often, people who did not want to share their food, the loyalists used to tell them that, look, you will also get that time when you will go to the lower floors, and if you think no one else thought about you, and no one saved food for you, then you can die. The loyalists understood this, but not the barbarians. The barbarians used to eat other people's food too, and like this, most of the sacrifices of the loyalists were lost. Anyway, now it was time to shift again, and all the people's platforms were changed in the jail. Perempuan and Zamyatin got the 180th platform this time, where in the name of food, if they could even get a plate to lick, that too was sufficient. They spent 20 days here, starving. 10 days were still left to be shifted, and these people could not trust that shifting either. Who knows, instead of going back to the upper platforms, these people would go to the lower platforms. The hunger would make the situation worse. Zamyatin could not tolerate all this anymore. His condition was getting worse day by day. That's why he decided to die here and set him on fire. When the burning pieces of his body went to the lower platforms, These people did not think anything that this was a human body, they just ate. The body had already been burned. It was cooked for them, and to keep themselves alive the prisoners down there ate the flesh of the body to fill their stomachs. After Zamyatin left, Perempuin found a new roommate, whose hand had already been cut, because she had broken the law of the Loyalists, in which she was not at fault. Here, the corpses of the dead were thrown here and there. She, with the corpse of the dead, had just filled the stomach of another hungry man, and the man who had eaten that flesh. His eyes were taken out and he was also killed. Now these people were talking that a food lift had come in front of them. Fortunately, a lot of food had come in front of them today. Their fate worked because the shift of the jail was changed. And all the people above them were Loyalists, who used to save food for the people below. This food was more for them, but who knows what the people below would do with this food while going down, and whether or not food was left for the people of the last platform. Now Perempuin decides with her companion that the two of them will go down with the lift to protect this food, and make sure that everyone gets food. Although they knew that his new master had been selected, who has to protect all this food. Now when the new master found out, he did not like it at all. Perempuin and her companion told him that people need to be there for food security. If any barbarian slaps this food while going down, then the rest of the people can die of hunger. Now somehow the master gets along with them. These people go down with a few more people, and decide that these people will fight the barbarians, and kill them. This fight was very dangerous. Everyone slapped each other in such a way that they are all wild, and now they will bite each other. But this time the Loyalists did not give up, and defeated the barbarians with their strength. Because the barbarians were few, all the people who had come from the lower floors had realized the hunger in the hungry people. This time the Loyalists were more, and it was not difficult for them to defeat the other barbarians. But a bad thing that happened to Perempuin and her companion was that their floor was 51. But because of this fight, those people could not go back to their floor, and got stuck on the lower floors, where there was absolutely nothing to eat. Here Perempuin's companion told her, "Don't worry, there is a way out of here. When the platform shifts, then a gas is spread, which makes everyone sleep, and if someone does not sleep because of this gas, then he can succeed in getting out of here." Now they had to cut it for just one more month. They were waiting impatiently for the time of shifting, but before that, they decided to punish them with the Loyalists, because they had broken the laws of the Loyalists, and left their floor. Now because Perempuin's companion had broken the rules of the Loyalists for the second time, she was killed as a punishment. While these people tied Perempuin badly and cut her hand, Perempuin's companion is tied to the police station table, and sent to the lower floors, where people were hungry for a long time. They tear her body apart and eat her. Perempuin was very saddened by the death of that girl. This time she was on the 72nd platform, and her roommate was an old man who also had a knife. Perempuin takes the knife from him, because now there is a new plan in her mind. She now wants to take revenge on the Loyalists instead of the barbarians, who snatched her hand and her companion from her. Although they were doing a good job, she now felt more like a barbarian than a Loyalist. Even if they stole someone's food, at least they didn't take anyone's life in the name of principles. She now takes her old companion, and goes to the other floors with the food lift. She instigates the barbarians to fight the Loyalists, and gathers 2 or 3 people and makes her group bigger. As soon as the food is over, these people reach the Loyalists' platforms. As soon as they reached there, Perempuin announced the war. Everyone present here felt that this war was for food, but in reality, this was not a war for food, but a war for freedom. Perempuin now wanted to escape from here. The people here forget humanity and attack each other. Someone tortures someone with a knife, and someone tortures someone with something else. Whoever came in his way, he used that thing and killed his enemy. Many barbarians died and many Loyalists too. Finally, Perempuin was caught by the Loyalists. Finally, she started a war against the Loyalists. How did the Loyalists let her go? She calls out to the barbarians for help, but when no barbarian came to help her, she helped herself. She picked up a big knife, and stabbed the master of the Loyalists in the stomach and killed him. Countless people had died. Now, as soon as the food lift started moving again, the dead began to fall down with it, and so the hungry people below got food. Along with this lift, Perempuin also reached the 331st platform, where it was extremely difficult to breathe or stay alive. There was a pile of corpses here. Here, Perempuin finds a child, who was bleeding from his head. She saves this child because she had heard that it is easy for children to stay alive here. Children are given food here. Children also go to the upper platforms, but as soon as these children grow up, they fall prey to this whole battle for food. Perempuin now wanted to go up with that child, but the lift had to go down 2 floors first, and then go up. As soon as the lift reaches the last floor, there is a commotion here. The hungry people here had smelled something after many years. Maybe it was the smell of humans. But they didn't think of anything other than food. They also thought humans were their food. It was not long before that people would attack these two and eat them. It was clear that Perempuan tried to get out of here. But she failed badly. She can never get out of here. We see her trapped her. And this movie ends here.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.